Smile Chats, Big Conversations. I'm your host. My name is Isha, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Series with my
Woo!
very first entrepreneur. And I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hey, I'm Brittany McDowell with Hustle and Finance. You can go on my website, hustleandfinance.com. That's hustle, the letter N, finance.com.
So today, starting off the Entrepreneur Series. If you did not watch the first, if you did not watch the intro to the business series, basically entrepreneur series, we're gonna bring some entrepreneurs on. They're gonna tell you a little bit about themselves, about their company, and we're just gonna share with them a little bit. And then at the end, they will give a give back that you have to be subscribed to the YouTube channel and following the TikTok.
Follow.
So is to get these giveaways. So we're gonna jump right in. Hustle Finance. Tell us about Hustle Finance.
Okay, so Hustle and Finance, we are a financial company that helps with credit repair, budgets, bankruptcies, things of that nature. I kind of got into it during that COVID time, really hard. I was working at EHCC, Elaine Hunt Correctional Center. Shout out to the people at EHCC. There was a lady there, Tequila Gibson Adams, that is my girl. She was fixing people's credit. And I'm like, oh man, I don't have that much stuff on my credit, but I did have a couple like hospital bills. And she was like, girl, all you gotta do is type that up and you can get that off of there. And I'm like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. So she didn't do it for me. She showed me what to do. I did it. I came back. I'm like, girl, it worked. So I just kind of started deep diving into it. On Facebook, I followed this community, Rose to 750 with Shonda Martin. So if you're on Facebook and you haven't been a part of that group, go ahead. Road to 750 is RT750. Lots of different tips and things like that to help you kind of do your self credit repair. So I got on there, was doing that kind of stuff, and me and Tequila, she just kept pouring into me. She kept pouring into me. Start your own business. Start your own business. And I did it.
You did it,
I
and
did
you
it.
love it, and you
I
good,
love it.
and she's good at it. She's good at it. I would vouch for that because I actually, which she's my friend, but I actually hit her up out the blue, and I was like, I really want to start focusing on my credit, and I told her she looked at everything. She sent me some letters. She was like, do this, do this, do that. Boom, 700s. Quick, easy, like easy work. It was like, damn, I've been waiting all this time for this. And then she just did it and it was like nothing to her. So she's really amazing at what she do. You should really get into it. You should really check her out because so let's talk about credits. Let's start with credit. Like, a lot of people are in the buying house market. We see a lot of people becoming homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
At what point or what are the tools that you can do to look over someone's credit report to get them qualified? Like, what's the minimum credit score that you need to get to buy a home, and like the qualifications?
So buying a home, I mean, you can buy a home with a 650. Okay. The difference is the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate is going to be. That's why we're always going to push for 700. Always going to try to push for 700 and even past 700 because you can have an 800 credit score as well.
Right.
And it's just the interest rate. That's the difference between paying $1,200 a month or $800 a month. Okay, because for instance, my mortgage is cheaper than some people's rent at their apartment.
Right.
So it's all in the credit score. Cash is king though.
Right.
That's something that we don't really talk about. Cash is king because you can have good credit and you can spend on your credit. But if you are not paying that credit card off, that score is going to drop.
So, and when doing the credit reports for a house, what are you looking for necessarily? Like, what are the needs that you like? If they just bought a car, or if they had a car,
your debt to income ratio.
You're looking at
so you need to be making money. You need to have a job, so to speak, and you need to be able to show where that money that's in your bank is coming from. But your debt to income ratio, and I don't even want to go into the specifics on what it needs to be, but if you have like $60,000 in debt and that you're only paying $20 a month on it,
then it's gonna affect you.
The key to it is thinking like this: you being a lender, do you feel as though I can give you this money and you'll pay me back on
Correct.
time, because you have people who have car notes who don't pay their monthly note on time. You have people who rent who don't pay their monthly rent on time.
Right.
There's different things. You have hospital bills that could be on your credit report, and actually the new laws have came in.
I
If
heard
it's
about those.
$500 or less, they cannot report that to your creditors. So keep that in mind. And it's forever changing.
So is it easier to buy a car?
Oh yeah, anybody can get a car.
Anybody could get a car.
But I mean, you could get a car and have to pay $1,200 a month on it
because of your credit.
Who is paying that?
Right. But I mean, people pay it because people don't do the essential work to work on your credit,
Exactly.
and people do not know the reality of having good credit. Exactly. Is really, like, I feel like I was told this a long time ago, that having good credit is actually almost like being rich, because your credit can open up doors that if you were a millionaire and you was to fumble your whole bag, having the credit to go out there and get it, is you always have money.
The difference with the millionaires is they got millions, right?
Right.
So even if they was to fumble a bag and they had bad credit, as long as they got the cash for it, that's why I say cash is king. Right. If they got the cash for it, they can just go out there and get it. However, if you got the cash and the credit, you just went up on everybody.
So as far as credit goes, what would you say 3 things that people can do to work on their credit, like monthly, like just 3 things that does not take away from anything, 3 essential things?
Okay. And so I still do credit repair, but I kind of fell back from it for that exact reason. You have people who just, I want a credit score, but they have repos on their credit report.
Right.
They have delinquent payments on there. They got delinquent child support payments on there. Yes, fellas and ladies, that can affect you. They have all this other stuff on their credit report that they don't realize is affecting their score. So I've kind of went through the basics to say budgeting. Budgeting. If you're not making the money, a lot of times we're underpaid, right? Everybody's underpaid. But budget what you have. If you budget what you have correctly, you can save, you can pay down debt, things like that. So budgeting. Something else is debt snowball.
Okay, elaborate what that is.
We're talking about people wanting a high credit score. People want a high credit score, but then they have a lot of debt. They have car loans. They have different credit cards. I said they have 2 different credit cards. They have school loans. They have, we'll say, hospital bills. Debt snowball is actually taking all of your debt, paying off the smallest debt first, while paying the minimum payment on everything else.
Right.
So I'll give an example. If I have a car loan, let's say $20,000, I have a credit card, this is the balances on them, $6,000, and then another credit card, the balance is $1,200. I'm going to be making my minimum payment on everything, but anything extra, I'm going to be putting it on that $1,200 credit card loan, right? Because just because you have a credit card, that is a loan.
Right.
I'm going to be putting it on there until I pay that off, and then I can work on to the next one. And that actually came from Dave Ramsey.
Okay.
So I don't know if people don't know or ain't hip, but follow Dave Ramsey. If you're not making
hacks.
If you're not making that extra money and you're just trying to figure out what you can do, go ahead and follow Dave Ramsey, because not only will he help you just listen to his different videos and stuff like that, but there's other people that chime in too that can give you tips and hints.
So when you speak of credit cards, about how many average credit cards do you think an American that is in not just in an average pay situation, like how many credit cards do you think is safe to have to not ruin your credit or not over exceed your credit?
Right. I would say 2.
2.
I would say 2 because you don't want to overexert yourself. A lot of people, they get these large credit card balances, and I'm talking about $20,000 credit card balance, $10,000, and they don't know how to use it.
Right.
It's go swipe. But when it's time to pay that balance, they don't got the $5,000 that they just swiped for. So it's all about managing it and only spending what you know you can pay back on that in that time frame.
What's a low percentage for your credit card? What percentage do you feel you should not allow your credit card to go over monthly?
That's a really, really good question. You don't want to spend over 30% of your credit card. So if you have $100 limit, what's that, $30? You don't want to spend more than $30. And people are like, well, you know what do I need to do? The thing is, if you go on something like Credit Karma, and they're looking at your credit utilization, that is what the lenders are looking for. They're looking at how you're utilizing your credit. Okay, you don't want to spend over 30% of it, because they're gonna be like, oh, she spent too much money, or he spent too much money on his credit card, and you're leaving that balance, and then it's just going over and over and over. The next month, pay it off. That's what they like to see. Like, oh wow, here he had a $10,000 limit. Here he spent $10,000, but he paid it off. They like that. But if you don't have the $10,000 to pay it off,
Right.
don't spend that.
So would you say credit cards are loans? If you have to be in the phase where you're really working on your credit, or you just have to choose, which one would you choose, a credit card or a loan?
So they have, like, you talking about like the debt consolidation loans and stuff like that?
Just a loan, period. Because I've heard over the years, like, having a credit card is better than going to get a loan. So if you get your credit card and you have this high limit versus going do startup loans, like startup loans don't really affect your credit score and boost them how a credit card would.
And that is true. Although a loan can, help give you a little boost or whatever like that, but what people fail to realize is, once you get the loan, you pay it off, and then it's just brings your credit score right back down. However, it still looks good because you were able to take this loan and pay it. So it's not like a super bad thing. However, I'm gonna say have the credit card. Now, as far as a debt consolidation loan, that is just a loan where people just consolidate all their debt and they just pay that one lump sum to that. That's the option for people. It's different with different strokes for different folks, because everybody's credit profile looks different. Everybody's financial situation is different. So there's not one definitive way to say, should they do this or should they do that. I'm gonna always say, when you're trying to build your credit, get a credit card over a loan any day. I'm not a person that is like, go ahead and get the loan. Some people, they have like the self loans and this and that. And I mean, that's probably good for somebody who's like really low credit score, really trying to start over with everything, and maybe that. But a lot of people that I deal with, they're in like that 500 to 600 range. So I've seen people with a 300 credit score. And so, yeah, what I recommend for them to get like a little start loan, yeah, get a loan, because it's going to look okay. At least they're trying. They got a $300 loan and they paid it off. At least they're trying. Not no payday loan, though. Don't get no payday loan, because sometimes those are on people's credit too.
Right.
That they didn't pay off their payday loan, and the lender's like, you didn't even pay off your payday loan. How you think I'm gonna get you some money?
Right. What do you feel, as far as, like, how do you feel people should? What are good tools that bring your debt to income ratio down when it's really maxed out? Like, when it's really maxed out, would you be at that point? Would you suggest getting debt consolidation, or would you suggest really picking a bill and just zoning out on it?
Everybody's situation is different. But when you're having things like that, debt snowball all day. I live by it. That's how I got out of debt. Debt snowball. I live by that. But if we're talking about like, outrageous amount of money, I would say, yeah, go ahead and get a debt consolidation loan, just because it's easier for you to track. It's one lump thing. You have one interest rate versus having like 5 different loans with 5 different interest rates. You do that debt consolidation, you have that one loan, and you're done with it. But debt snowball, and when I say I live by the debt snowball,
you live by it.
I live by it because it really works. And then they have another one. I haven't done it. It's Avalanche, and I think you just basically do opposite. But I'm team debt snowball all day.
So, what hustle and finance? What does hustle and finance offer? Like, what are some things that you guys offer? What services do you all offer?
Okay. If you go to my website, hustleandfinance.com.
Go to the website. Period.
We right now I'm pushing budgeting. Budgeting. I'm pushing it. And that's actually one of my free giveaways I'm gonna do for somebody. It's a 3-month budget. But I'm pushing budgeting right now more so than the credit repair. And we still do the credit repair. Like I said, we do credit repair, we do bankruptcies, things like that. But I'm really pushing the budgeting, especially now when we're dealing with people who have all these different side hustles. Right? That's why I hustle and finance. But it's COVID really brought out the entrepreneurial spirit in everybody.
Did.
Right? Everybody was trying to figure out, how can I make more money? How can I do this? How can I do that? So, especially with that that side hustle, using it to your advantage. So budgeting your money correctly so you can do what you need to do as far as your credit. That's the whole point of me wanting to push the budgets more than I am like promoting my credit repair. Because if we can focus on your finances through budgeting on a month to month basis or bi-weekly basis, however you get paid, I feel like you can come out of that debt, and that's going to eventually improve your
credit and it's going to teach you how to maintain and keep elevating your credit score, because anybody can get you a 700, but it's like you said, you have to know how to maintain it and boost it. And if you don't have the tools to maintain and boost it, then you're just hustling backwards.
Seriously,
you're just throwing money to the wind, because you have to know how to properly manage the money to get the scores to stay. Like you have to do that.
Yes.
So in the budgeting format, tell us a little bit more about how you break down the budgets. How do you break down?
Okay, so with a budget, and I'm trying to envision a budget in my head. I'll use myself for example. At my job, I get paid bi-weekly. And so I would first make a list of all the bills that you have. And I'm talking about literally every bill, whether it be your mortgage, your rent, car note, car insurance, everything that you have, which you have to pay on every month, with the date that it's due. And I'll tell you why that's important in a minute. And then I set up the calendar based on your paydays. So I get paid bi-weekly. So it'll be the 1st, the 14th, whatever. And I put on those dates what bill is due.
Right.
So you kind of, if you're not working a lot of overtime, you know what your base pay range is. So I kind of like tell people, let's go off your base pay range. Let's say it is $1,000. You got a $500 rent. And this is an example, because who paying $500 for rent?
Nobody. I mean, nobody for real. I don't know. It may, but you know, that's.
I don't know nobody like that. So let's just say, okay, you're paying $500 for rent. That's due on the 1st, and so you have $500 left. And let's say you have $100 car note, and then you have $100 insurance. Okay, so that's $700. Out of that $1,000, that means you have $300 left. So what I do is, okay, you got your bills paid. Okay, of that $300, how much can you save? How much can you survive off in the next 2 weeks? Because you got to think about food, gas, things of that nature. So if you're only able to save $50 and you live off of $250 for the next 2 weeks, that's what it is. As long as you're comfortable with it. And that's why I like to talk to people when I do their budgets too, because me personally, I'm in a 2-income household. So I could survive off of $300 for 2 weeks. If we're really talking about, I could survive off of $150 for 2 weeks. But I mean, hey, that's pushing it. However, some people, you know, they're 1-income households and they really can't do it. Maybe we can even get you to a point where you're not saving anything right now,
but you are maintaining.
You're paying off something else, because once that's paid off, then instead of you paying that off, we can pay that to your savings.
Right.
So it all comes together. But that's kind of just how I do budgets. Go to the website and book you a budget.
And subscribe to the page so you can win you a budget plan. Because honestly, like I said, budgeting, especially coming up in the new year, 2024, you know, income tax is about to come up. Having that budget and getting that 3-month budget plan for you right now, and continuing to work with her with a budget, can keep you sane, and keep you to, when you get to the end of the year of 2024, you're not really crunching your dollars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not really in a bad, because of course, you know, life happens, right? So life is going to happen, and you want to have to be able to budget. So if something unexpected in life happens, you can go to your savings, because now you have a savings and you never had a savings before. Or, you know, you can continue to grow your savings, or you could just basically begin to have good money management. Money management in America is awful. Money management in America. I am not the greatest at money management, but I have plans and goals. So then I started doing it. I can honestly say in my 20s, I was horrible with money management. I was horrible. And now, like, she motivates me. She always motivates me, baby. She is the exit strategy queen. She is let's take a trip. Queen, she is you want to be an entrepreneur? Let's motivate. So putting her in charge of helping you get your financial life on track would be an amazing person, because she really promotes the let's go out there. You give me your vision and let's see how we can make it work type thing. So I would definitely say, like, starting with a budget, it would open up the door to money management, because what do you feel what have you seen people worst effects of money management are? Like, what is their worst abilities to manage money? Like, what are they spending their money on?
Girl, food. I really think that everybody having that swipe, having a little Apple Card, Apple Pay, put your phone into it, that really ruined us, because you just be swiping away.
Or DoorDash, like you ain't got to leave.
You're not realizing how much money is coming out of your account, and then you looking like decline. Well, hold on, why is this declining? Where did my money going? You gonna look food. So I'm always tell people cook, and don't get me wrong, I'm a victim too. I always be going out to eat and stuff like that. And so something that, like, what do you call those little New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
Grocery shopping. And who wants to come home after they've been working all day
and cook
and have to cook? I get it. But do it for a month. That's a challenge. So at Health and Finance, we do like challenge. We'll do like a $2,500 year challenge, $5,000 year challenge, whatever, $1,000 year challenge. We're going to do a challenge for 1 month. 1 month.
Okay.
Grocery shopping.
And
just see how much money you save. And you can even compare it from one of the months of the year 2023 that you spent the most money on eating out. Just compare it to really see, or go into your finances right now and go just calculate how much money you spent on food. You're going to be like, man, that's ridiculous. I didn't even need them chips. That burger was nasty. Like, you really going to do that?
So, what would you say? Would you say auto paying your bills is a good tool to utilize
if you are able? It wasn't until I got married that I was able to auto pay things,
right?
Because I have several different accounts. Sometimes I was paying the bill on this account this month, and the next month it was coming out of a different account. But now, if you are able, auto pay, because I'll say it like this: out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
There's some bills that are just going to get paid regardless.
Right.
Your mortgage is one of those. My mortgage is on my auto pay.
Right, mine too.
Regardless. Daycare, auto pay. That's,
you gotta watch my guy, y'all.
It's auto pay, because it's just one of those things that have to be paid. Now, my ADT bill, that's on auto pay. But is that something that really needs to be on auto pay? Maybe not, but it's only $68. I'm like, go ahead. But I'm able to do that because I do have a little money in savings, and I do have money that comes in constantly. Like I said, I get paid every 2 weeks. But if you have some people who, they're not getting a regular check or something like that, I would just say don't do auto pay, because you don't want to overdraft on any of your accounts. But making sure you're noting when those bills are due, so you're not getting any late fees and things like that.
So for the people that's trying to step into entrepreneurship, and they have all the loans and all of that stuff, credit card, big business credit cards, this, that, and the third, and I see a lot of people using those loans and credit cards, and they teach you how to use them for personal use, really, not just on the business. How would you say you advocate? Because do your business credit affect your personal credit, or is it two separate things?
So it is two separate things, and it's crazy. So it's actually something I haven't even tapped into. Yeah. I haven't tapped into the business credit because my business doesn't generate that amount of money. Right? We're not talking about, I'm not making $20,000 a year out of Hustle and Finance. I'm not. I still got a day job. But when you're making over $100,000 from your side hustle, that business credit is perfect, because you're using it to pay for different things for your business, whether you're renting something out to have your storefront or something like that. You're using that business credit for that. But for small businesses who aren't generating that amount of money and stuff like that, I would say wait
till you get that.
But that's me. You could do your own research and see, if it works for you, but you don't want to get into a situation to where now your business has bad credit.
Right.
Right. You don't want that because, yeah, you got a loan this time, but if you mess up that loan, you're going to need another loan another time. You don't want to get into the business like that. So I would say just wait until your business really gets off the ground. I'll take my friend Brittany Brown, the soul food queen. Oh, that's a little shout out.
She's shouting out everybody tonight.
She does Live After 5. She sells these good old seafood egg rolls, crawfish egg rolls. I know y'all probably seen them, shrimp egg rolls. Y'all probably seen it on my Instagram. They really fire. Ain't that how them kids say?
Fire. They fire.
But she was really hustling. I'm talking about working the Live After 5 event. She was cooking out of her house, all that kind of stuff. She got a food truck now.
Period.
And she did that just saving up her money. So it's things like that. Cause she had went and got a business loan or a grant and stuff like that. She tried and it was very hard. And it wasn't because of anything wrong with her credit, but it's just hard for Black people. And I'll say women specifically, men specifically, whatever, but it's hard for them to get loans or they have to like jump through loops and hoops and stuff like that. But she got it in and she got a food truck now.
Period. Yeah. So learn to maintain your personal credit first, then you would not overexert yourself with your business credit. I think that's like the biggest takeaway. So if somebody was to come to you right now and they said that they wanted to start working on themselves, whether it's credit or just budgets, or how could you tie them both in together and give them advice to clean up their credit? Like if they haven't been paying their bills properly all year, because shit happens. Like let's be real. Like everything gone up but the damn pay. Let's be honest. they the whole economy then went up and the pay ain't shit. Like the pay ain't going up. So if someone wanted to start in the predicament that they in and they're not in the best financial predicament, what tools would you say you can give them, or advice, or a little pointer to give them to start at? Where would you tell them to start?
First thing I'm going to ask is, what are your goals?
Okay.
Because people can sit up here and be like, I want to save money. Okay, that's your goal. Oh, I want to buy a house. I'm very realistic with it. Okay, you got people who will ask you, oh, well, I want to save $5,000 in a year, but they're only making $25,000 in that year. So where you was going to save $5,000 at, baby?
Right.
You still got to live for the rest of the year, right?
Right.
So the first is, what's your goal? The second thing is, I'm about to do a link. It's smartcredit.com/HNF. Go on there and get your credit profile so you can see what is going on with your credit, who you owe money to, what you've done well, what your score is at, that type of thing. So that's the second thing, is actually looking at your credit profile to see what you got going on. Because believe it or not, people do fraudulent stuff. And I have pulled somebody's credit before, and there was several accounts on their credit report that they had no knowledge of.
Right.
So, that's a whole different ballgame. So seeing your credit report and what you got going on over there, and then just getting started with the budget. Having a realistic goal. I'm not going to let you sit here and tell me something that's unrealistic, like $5,000 and you only making $25,000 in a year. We're not doing that. Let's be realistic. You want to save $500 and you make $25,000. Okay, that's something that we can do. That's something that's attainable. Right. Okay, so getting your goal and pulling that credit profile.
What motivated you to start your business? Like besides, you talking to your coworker and stuff like that. What was the main goal to say, this is it for me? This is the one thing that I want to do, and I like it, and I'm gonna run with it, and I want to start a business.
I seen how easy it was. It was so easy, and I mean, it's time consuming, right?
Right.
But it was easy, and then me just doing it to myself, I was able to buy a house.
Doing it on your own, you see how effective
I was able to buy a house, and then like telling my friends, like I'll tell you different little things, and you come sending me screenshots. Right. Oh, I did this. I got a friend, homegirl. Actually, here's another plug. Sky Rose Essentials. That's my friend Jasmine in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. She's a small business owner as well. She does a lot of like soaps and lotions and things like that. Shampoo, all natural ingredients, and they smell really good. That's what I use actually. I'm just plugging everybody.
Baby, she just plugging everybody. She the plug. Let me find out you the plug at this point.
But she had a school loan.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, man, they trying to say I gotta pay whatever crazy amount. I told her to do this, this, and that. And I can't really recall what it was, but she came back, hey, Britt, they accepted it for this. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, just little things like that. And I'm like, dang, like something so simple. Something so simple. So
and it motivated you.
Yeah, I started helping different people and things like that, and stuff was falling off their credit. And
I did see, and I did notice because we seen that on doing the flyer. You were, how hard is it to remove a bankruptcy off somebody's credit?
Now, see, that's Achilles' area of expertise. I don't really fool with the bankruptcies. It's certain things that I didn't get into because of time, right? Because I got to do work a full-time job, so like I really got into the credit portion of it. But the bankruptcies is very tactical on what you do. Mm-hmm. And there's letters and stuff that has to go out, and it has to be like sent out on time. I've seen her get several people to remove, but yeah, I don't fool with them. When people come to me with bankruptcies or even like repos,
I was about to ask you repossessions.
Like, here you go, Sakili. Here you go.
So if she don't know, she can point you in the right direction. Yes, definitely. So that's the biggest takeaway. If she doesn't know, she can point you in the right direction. Yes. So right now, what would you say is the biggest how can I put it? Motivation behind your company in 2023 transition in 2024. What is your memo that you want to take your company to the next level, or the biggest promotion that you feel like you want to do?
Financial literacy, credit education,
period.
Money education, financial education. Just if we like understand the meaning behind the interest rates. I don't know if you guys been looking in the news, but the interest rates are expected to fall. I guess in 2024, and I also need to read up on it some more myself. But a lot of things was hard this year for people to attain house or home ownership because the interest rates were so high.
And they did it, and they are stuck with them high interest rates.
Yeah, too. But now that the rates are going to be dropped, they can try to like redo their loan and try to get it at a lower monthly payment. But it's called refinancing. I'm sorry. But you know, the key thing is about having those high credit scores and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They've even and I got to do some more research on it. They've even changed the credit score. I'm gonna say it's called FICO 2 now or something like that. I got to do some research on it myself. Like I say, I work full-time job, so I was trying to do. Do a lot. I be trying to hustle and finance, baby. I be trying to hustle and finance.
This is what they say. What Rob for not a hustler? Yeah, that's you. Period. That's what it is. Like,
yeah. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Another thing, following different people on social media, right? I feel like if we follow a bunch of BS, and I'm gonna use just different celebrities, right? Oh, that's my favorite rapper. Oh, that's my favorite singer, whatever. You follow them on Instagram versus you following things like the Financial Bar or Earn Your Leisure. These are things that are gonna be coming up on your timeline that post little snippets of stuff that, oh, what they talking about? That's gonna pique your interest at night, because I know all y'all be at night twiddling on Instagram and be getting lost in the zone. You look up someone on your leisure and go Google it and go do some reading and stuff like that. That's key. Watch what you're following on Instagram and social media, because that's where we're on most of the time, if we believe it or not. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Mm-hmm. You got people on TikTok. They got the girl be trying to teach people how to do the little flights. Like if you miss your flight or something like that, and
they have TikTok have a lane for everybody.
Read the fine print and stuff like that. Oh, I took out the hard work. I did it for you. That type of stuff. Just watch who you're following. Start following some people who are doing some things with money. You can follow Hustle and Finance.
and that's what I was just about to say. Following Hustle and Finance to basically give you the tools, and as she learns, she's putting it out, because sometimes people don't want to go read the material. You don't want to keep up with the updates. Yeah. Following the Instagram, following the TikTok, and like seeing the education, because knowledge is power. Mm-hmm. And let's start here. They're not teaching you how to utilize your credit in school. They're not
Right.
teaching you the importance of a credit score. They're not teaching you money management.
Right.
They're not teaching you any of these things in school
Mhm.
to basically further your education to an adult to know what you need to do. And so most times young adults start off wrong with
Yeah.
their credit. They start off with a whole bunch of debt with their credit, and then now you middle age, or you getting to the middle age, and you still not a homeowner, or you still not. And there's nothing wrong with it, because my parents personally bought a house in their 50s, and I was just proud that they got to the point where they bought it, but it's not taught within the communities or the school system. So offering those classes would be a great benefit for your company. Like, I think that would, because knowledge is power. Like, if 20 minutes, if you do 20 minutes to go do anything crazy, you can use 20 minutes to self-improve yourself. And
that's true. Another crazy thing that you had mentioned, the younger people, there was a study that young people are not looking to buy homes. They're looking to travel.
Yeah.
But again, you need the finances to be
try.
able to travel. So, the education portion of it, because if you understand the why behind things, if you understand the why behind interest rates, you understand the why behind why you need to have your
money management, the understanding money management can put you on those trips. It can put you, because we have the thing where the culture right now is what you see on social media. You feel like you have to live. I know you see so many people that visit, they see all these people on these lavish vacations, and then everybody, oh, I want to go there, I want to go there, because I want to go to Greece, baby. I want to go to Greece. It's just, I don't know, I just feel like it. But I'm not putting the social media part behind it. I'm putting that my first goal is this. I have a plan. I have a management plan of what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? But just for the young people out there, all those things that you're looking to do, if you get the education to do money management, it's very manageable. I find a lot of people don't even know that buying a home, getting a car, taking the lavish trips is not as hard or expensive as they think they are. They just their money. They looking at their account all the time, and they're like, "Damn, it just ain't nothing to do."
Yeah, they got a budget. They got a budget. So we go on. Me and my husband, we go on trips with one of my good friends and her husband. For her birthday every year. So far, we've been to Mexico, Jamaica, Dominican Republic. And then we're looking at other places to go, like Colombia. Now, some people would say, like, Colombia, like, oh, that's expensive. Or Dubai. Oh, that's
Hawaii.
Expensive. That's a big one. Yeah, but Hawaii is expensive. No, but people think they're so expensive, but it's like, if you know ahead of time, I know a year out that we're going to do this, I'm going to start budgeting now. I'm going to start putting money away right now, and that's spending money. That's money to pay for the trip or whatever it is. It's just starting now. A lot of time, what they say, you start off a group trip, it'd be 10 of y'all, and at the end of the 2 of y'all, yeah. But
or you go on the group trip, and then everybody's finances is not lining up, so some people are not wanting to do what the other person do.
Exactly.
Me personally, I could travel more because the financial part isn't the burden. Like, my whole thing is like, people will start off, and then that's my thing. I'm going to go on the trip. I'm not going nowhere until I got money to do whatever I want to do on the trip. Yeah. So I'm very big on money management, because I will go assess the plan. Like, okay, what we got to do? This is what we got to go to.
And research where you going.
Yes.
We'll
utilize TikTok, because TikTok have the keys. People are telling you the essentials that you could use on TikTok to go to places for very affordable. Yep. But if you keep on checking that bank account and it's not there, baby, you got to do money management, because, I feel the jealousness or the enviness or the part of social media where it gets conflicted. They be like, oh, people think that social media is real. No, it is real for some people, but you don't know what these people are doing to get it. They may be spending their last to go on their trip, because they
might be
like
with a sugar daddy.
Yeah. Listen, Linda. I got one of those, but that's all he good for. Do you hear me? But I'm just saying. I'm just saying, but you gotta do that money management though, because
or something that is a part of money management is researching your trip. Yep. So if you're going somewhere in the States, you're not going to a different island that's all inclusive, so you need to be putting in your money budget. Okay, texting your group chat, hey, what all places are we trying to go and eat at? Go and look at that menu to see, what is it that you want to order possibly when you go there. If there's like a three options of different restaurants, go and look at the menus for those different restaurants and stick to it when you get there. Okay, you're starting to save already. What do y'all want to do? Oh, you guys want to ride jet skis?
Right.
Go and see how much the jet skis and stuff cost. Like, plan out your trip and budget your trip.
Budget. That's the part. Budget. Because all of those things bring it all back to why your services is could be utilized for a lot of people, because having the budget, having the plan, and having the money management all ties into more than just your final. Everybody wants the credit score, but the deeper meaning is the money manage, the budget, and to just have the education behind it. And I feel like that's the most essential part of your business, because you can help tomorrow. Like, you helped me got the 700 credit score, but the knowledge behind the things that you told me is what kept the credit score, or what allowed me to go utilize my credit to get things that I wanted. And right now, if I wanted to go buy a house, I want to get into real estate. If I wanted to go do a lot of things right now, I can do it because I just didn't take the credit advisement. Like, I will talk and we'll just have little conversations. And the money management and the budget is a very big part of it. So I'm very grateful that you are taking the time out to give somebody a 3-month budget. And I hope you all are subscribed, because this year, baby, that trip that is in the group message that you're trying to get out of and you trying to join, or just that house that you've been looking at buying, or whatever it may be, getting this 3-month budget plan and starting to work with Hustle and Finance can get you that financial freedom to be able to not be so all the time when you see people on these trips. Because it's a thing. People be like, oh damn, she going on another trip again. I want don't count the next person's pockets, baby. Start counting yours, and then you're gonna be on the same trips. Because I'm a firm believer that you can get anywhere the next person is. It's just gotta believe in you.
Look, I go on trips. I'm from Seattle, so I'll go to Seattle at least once a year. But I'm broke. I'm broke, but I budget. I know in 2024 all the trips that I want to go on, and I've already started my own budget. It's actually in here in my little notebook. I started out my own budget because I already know what it is. So whether that's me working on a couple of hours in overtime, so I can have a little extra on my check, and the extra is going to my savings, that's going to be going towards this trip here or that trip there, I'm already getting there rolling, because I'm in that mind frame of like, okay, we got trips to go on. I got to start saving my money. So.
And that's just the tools of it, So taking the takeaway from, sitting down with Hustle and Finance, basically budget, money management, education, and if you want the services, go get your credit looked at. But just don't utilize the credit part of the service. Like, utilize it all, because I do feel like as I tie my entrepreneur series to my you series, being the best version of you is really having financial freedom. Having financial stability can create a whole different you, because you ain't depressed all the time, worried about how your bills gonna get paid. You ain't sad all the time, worried about what's next, or robbing Peter to pay Paul. Having financial freedom and having financial education of how you can utilize your funds that you're making, because you got to utilize what you got.
Yep.
You know what I say? You got to utilize what you got. So having that and linking with Hustle and Finance, 2024 your year. I'm claiming it for you. I'm claiming it. Listen, you the prize. You're winning. This is your winning season. And let's get to winning. So this was Small Chats, Big Conversations. This is Hustle and Finance. And we are glad to present you with a 3-month free budget. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like, comment. Let us know if you have any questions. Go ahead and head on to the website. Also, Hustle and Finance have an Instagram. So go ahead and hit that follow.
Instagram and Facebook page.
Hit that follow, hit that join, and we will see you next time. This was Small Chats, Big Conversations. Love you. Bye.